As a historian, I study Taylor Swift for several reasons. Swift regularly incorporates historical figures and events into her songs. She also thinks historically. This means that she reflects on sources, interpretation, memory, and preservation.
So when it's all said and done, I think we can all agree that Taylor should be studied. Check out what a historian had to say about Taylor's impact as a writer, on culture, and more in this video.
Even the Beatles, at the height of Beatlemania in 1964 and 1965, didn't transform cities, either physically or economically, in the ways Taylor Swift has. As a historian, I study Taylor Swift for several reasons. Swift regularly incorporates historical figures and events into her songs. She also thinks historically. This means that she reflects on sources, interpretation, memory, and preservation. She recognizes that she is both a historical actor and a product of a particular moment in time, and that the way her story has and will be told will change over time. I'm also fascinated by the cultural impact of Taylor Swift and her era's tour, which is unprecedented. The relationship between Swift and her fans is unique as well. Attending a Taylor Swift concert is a form of pilgrimage. It's not just being in the presence of Swift that's significant. It's celebrating Swift and her music, both inside and outside the concert venue, with tens of thousands of other fans who value friendship and kindness. This is kinship, and it's a powerful antidote to alienation, disconnectedness, and a political climate fueled by cruelty and resentment.
Taylor's just, it's like, I wasn't alive when the Beatles blew up. None of us were born yet. But like, you're watching it.
Yeah.
You're watching it with Taylor. I've just never seen anything like it in my life. And somebody yesterday was like, when's she running for president? I was like, huh? It's like, would she win? I was like, it'd be the biggest sweep of all time. But don't do that to yourself. Like, don't. Just don't even go. It's like too much. Don't invite the drama.
We have some Taylor's versions to get through first, maybe.
We have like, she's got plenty more songs to write. She's the most prolific. Like I've said in countless interviews, so like who the most talented people he worked with. Like McCartney blew my mind because he jumped around and played every instrument like a session player on all the music that we did, and he was doing it like that, like 7 instruments. It's like, and here's the harpsichord. And then Taylor, it's like McCartney and Taylor, genuinely like she just, it's her brain. It's like ChatGPT needs another 5 to 10 years to catch up with how fast she can script and write.
That's incredible.
Lyrics. Yeah, it's wild.
That you had started when you were 5, and I'm thinking, when you were 5, do you remember some early lyrics? What did you see when you were 5 that you started crafting things when you were 5?
The first thing I started to do, my parents say, is that I used to come home from Disney movies, you know, where they had all these songs in the Disney movies like Lion King and stuff. Yeah. And I'd be singing the words to the songs that I had heard once in the movie, but I had changed the lyrics to my own. So they would look back and they'd kind of say to each other, that's not the words of the song, is it? And they go, well, that's the melody of the song, but she's changing the words.
At 5.
Yeah, so I think that was when it started to kind of, I don't know if they knew that was weird though. Like my mom said that she would go and she would talk to the other moms and she'd go, oh, Taylor's doing this weird thing, you know, your kids are doing that too, right? And
they go, no.
No? No. Songwriting has always been the #1 thing, the writing aspect of it. If I didn't write, I wouldn't sing.
I think as a songwriter, there is that urge to connect. There is that urge to say, like, this is how I feel sometimes, and then have fans say, oh my God, like I feel that way sometimes too. And I think a documentary, if you are open enough, you can connect with people.
I tell you that you'll never find another like me.
Being in the studio that was some of my favorite stuff that we filmed.
That was the first time I've ever had a camera crew in the studio. It's always been really off limits. It was actually amazing having you in the studio because like we'd finish writing a song and like a sound guy would be like, that's a really good song. Like, right. Thank you. Actually, we never get this in the studio. Nobody ever is like, that's a good one.
Right. Keep going.
I just honestly had no idea how it would affect the creative process. We ended up with you in the studio writing songs like Me and The Man.
Hey, then I'd be the man. I'd be the man.
that is a concept I've thought about for so many years, but I've just always thought like, I want to say it in a way that's like a satire and that's kind of funny, but it's also making a very serious point. I think when I hit on this idea of like, if I was a man, I'd be the man. Like, you guys would think I was so cool if I was doing this stuff and I was a guy. Like, you know, and I could get away with this, I could get away with this, I could get away with this. I get applauded for this.
We drink to the bid and the bottles, to the bitches and models, to the da-da-da-da-das.
Working with Joel Little, who has two very strong, wonderful, intelligent young daughters. And I think he was writing for them. Yeah. And I love showing that we really do have allies in the male civilization.
What I love about that scene in the film is that, sometimes the camera is right here as you come up with the lyric. How much did you notice us? I
know what you mean, because you really were very close to my face in a lot of it. I don't think we ever asked you guys, can you go? Because you just weren't invasive at all. I think I was really in my feelings. I just get really in it when I'm writing a song, and I disappear into my phone because my phone is where I keep my notes and my phone is where I'm editing.
Lead the field of Nora, found someone to commit to.
Every time I wake up in the middle of the night, or every time I think of a title, or every time I think of a common phrase and flip it, I love doing that. I'll put it in my notes, but
there's a real speed to it too. It seems like writing a song has a kind of dynamic where you go, and you kind of have to keep going for many hours, a lot of the time, until it's done.
Yeah, I have to do that. Everyone's different with their writing. A lot of people are stop, start. I know people who will write a verse for one song and decide to just put it on another song. Or I like this chorus, but I like it with this pre-chorus from this song. And I'm like, never done that once. I kind of have to capitalize on the excitement of me getting that idea and see it all the way through, or else I'll leave it behind and I'll just assume it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, very good. Baby, that's what's fun of me. Holy shit.
Oh my God, did we just do this whole verse and chorus?
The ideas are my favorite part of of everything that I do. That moment where you're like, oh, I know what it's called. Or you're like, I know what the hook is now.
And there's one point in the movie where you actually see on your face, you go because you have an idea. You get to see it.
Took the money in the bag and I stole the money in the bag and I stole the keys. That was the last time you ever saw me.
I remember when I used to get an idea when I was 12 years old in my room. I'd first get an idea and I'd be like, yes, idea. And then I get this fear and almost sorrow that no one was ever going to hear it. I'm never going to get to make this into something. It's just mine. And there's something cute about that. But I want to make something. Getting to capture on films, getting an idea, that's one thing that I'm glad I'll have forever. I'll always have kind of a memory of when that idea happened. I'd never had that before. Anyway, it's good that we both get to make things now.
We're so lucky.
I'm inspired to write songs at any time of day, when I'm going through something or when the dust has settled and I'm over it. It can be anything. It can be, I'll just be doing dishes or something, or, in the middle of an interview, and I could get an idea in my head that just kind of sticks out as that could be a hook, that could be a pre-chorus, that's a first line. Sometimes it's lyrical, sometimes it's got a fragment of melody attached to it. And the unpredictability of it is what makes me continue to fall in love with songwriting over and over again. Then you're going to have people who are going to say, oh, she just writes songs about her ex-boyfriends. And I think, frankly, that's a very sexist angle to take. No one says that about Ed Sheeran. No one says it about Bruno Mars. They're all writing songs about their exes, their current girlfriends, their love life, and no one raises a red flag there. My first album came out when I was 16. So I would write about my life as I saw it, as I felt it. And then what happens is, as you get more successful, which you're lucky if that happens, you have more and more people paying attention to what you're doing, and you've been doing it the same way your entire career as a songwriter, but all of a sudden the perspective has changed. And they use kind of you writing songs about your life as a way to play detective. And for me, I have a really strict personal policy that I never name names. And so anybody saying that a song is about a specific person is purely speculating. And they're going to do that, but the most important thing for me is maintaining artistic integrity, which means as a songwriter, I still continue to write about my life.
Of knowledge, and she's just so smart. That's the thing that, we all know how talented Taylor is, but I think 50% of her success is also combining her talent with just literally how smart she is. And I love, every time I'm around her, I love just kind of soaking it in and listening to her talk, and how she always, you know, has something to say or a way of looking at something that I never have, you know, thought that way. And so people are always a little bit blown away when she comes on the show from that side of it, you know, because once you get past the Taylor Swift, then you're even more impressed by her once you just can get that out of the way and then just kind of soak in who she is.
So I think it goes without saying that Taylor is easily one of the most brilliant songwriters of not only her time, but of all time, period. And the Eras Tour perfectly attests to this from era to era. So it's awesome to see historians have a discussion about the impact of her writing and culture. For more on Taylor's incredible mind, watch this next video.